Hello, my name is Kevin Schusler with Command Light. In this video, we're going to be just showing you the basic components and different parts of the light tower. The light tower we'll be doing this video on is the night light. You can download one of these sheets that looks like this. This gives a reference to all the parts I'll be showing. We'll start externally. This part here will be down in your compartment. It's called our holster box. It also contains the handheld controller, which is what moves the light tower around. This is the Cat 5 coil cord, and this will be your control cable. This one's just running right to the light tower, but this would normally route up through your truck up into the light tower. There will also be incoming power cable for it. This would be known as the base of the tower. The reason I point this out, it's pretty much an all welded unit here, but there are a couple of key components in here. There's a white pad located inside of here that basically a plunger hits on right there. It's very critical that this be lined up correctly for this plunger to activate on. Down here there's also is our mount for our lower actuator. So this would be the lower actuator on a nightlight. Another component of the light tower is our literature tube. What's inside of here is the complete user guide, as well as the tools you would need to manually lower the actuators if you should lose power. The next part would be our main electrical box, and on it you will find what we call our lookup light. And what this light does, anytime this tower is in motion, this light will light up so you can see where the tower's doing in the dark. Another very key critical component on this is our serial tag. This will have the serial number of the light tower, the year it was manufactured, the voltages. If it's a quartz tower, this one's LED. If it was quartz, it would have your bulb wattages, so you could either call us for replacement bulbs or you could outsource them locally for you. If you have an older tower and you don't find that serial tag, it will be stamped out on one of these feet. And please, if you're calling in about an issue or a question with the light tower, if you have the serial number beforehand, it'll save you a follow-up call. Another component of the relay box is called the Nest switch. Just go ahead and open this up real quick for you. On a DC tower, it's a little bit different configuration than an AC tower. They will all have these basic same relays. Those just control the motions and the auto park feature. Also in a DC tower, there will be a big resettable breaker in here. So if you ever have to work in here, just by pushing down on that button, this flag will pop out and basically all power past that is shut off. The other end of the control cable from the holster here will have a junction strip here. All of these wires that you would route through a tower will just match color for color. Very nice thing about this is with a jumper wire in here, you can actually manually move the tower around if you don't have the controller up with you. So again, we'll go back here to the lower actuator. It hooks to what we call our lift arm assembly. That's the main strength of the light tower. And then this one here is actually kind of like a big tuning fork. We call this our stabilizer arm. In here, there's also a mercury switch. There are 4 holes, 2 here, 2 here. There's only one with a screw in and it's countersunk. On the inside here is a mercury switch, what we call our safety limit. By adjusting the angle of that, you will stop rotation, your lights will not come on, backlight will not pan below that limit. So if you're in a really deep tub, you want to make sure you come up above before you can rotate and hit the tub, just give us a call. We'll show you how to adjust that. From that point, we come up. These are our tilt blocks. Basically, these are just the components that hook the various pins into this mid plate box here. There's also an over center bar, and what that does is it comes down, they'll hit on these 2 stabilizers, these rubber pads. It stabilizes the light and prevents bouncing of it. Mid plate here, this is where all the slip rings and the rotation motor, so the gear motor that rotates this is in here. From up above there, we call this our yoke or our saddle. That is just the mounting point for the upper actuator. It's also the pins that would hook to the lamp tree. The upper portion of this is called the lamp tree assembly. There's also a couple of bars internally mounted in here. The 2 pins for the this pivot point will go across here. So to access those, what you would do is take these 4 bolts out, slide the lamp tree off. Those bars will come off, you can remove the actuator, and that's how you would remove your tree. Up here, this one is equipped with what we call our backlight option. And what that does, it allows the lower pair of lamps to rotate back 180 degrees, so you can keep a pair of them on your scene. You can also bring some down or back to give you some lighting around your vehicle. There's just a little gear motor and a belt in here that allows that, and then the brackets that the lamps mount to. The upper ones, or on a 6-head, the upper 4 are all fixed into position. So those would be our top light banks, middle light banks, and lower on a 6-head. We always reference the lights if they were shining in your eyes. So if this was shining in my eyes, these would be your rights and these would be your lefts. So the top one would be R1. Toward the top of this, there's also what we call our hatchet, and on that there is also a capability to put a strobe on there. It'll be just a little covered quick connector, 2 screws. You can order a strobe from us. Just put the 2 screws in, hook the quick connector in, and then you will have a functioning strobe on this. On a DC tower, again, due to the limitations of the slip ring, we can only offer one option. That's all the extra wires we have. So this one has a backlight option, so we cannot give it a strobe. If you had the strobe, you cannot have the backlight. I'll go over this real quickly, and I'll just take off some of these covers. These will be the junction points for the wires coming up through the tower. So out of the main electrical box, this will route up. And at this point, this lift arm cover here, up in here there will be a bunch of blocks. And basically this is where the different wires will come in. So this will be our harness, and these are actually off of our slip ring. So this is how we hook them up. And then there'll be another one up above here. The mid plate can be opened up. There are 2 side covers that just come off. I've removed all the screws on this just to make this a little quicker. And then we have a 3/4 surround. So with the removal of that, you can see the rotation motor, the belt. This is the big sprocket that rotates the light around. This is our slip ring, and here's that switch that down limit plunger would activate when it comes down to that point. Coming up above here, we have another junction point. In there will be the wires for your backlight. So basically we take part of the wires, stop them here, and these will go on up into your backlight. It's got a select relay so it knows which way to go back to find its home position once you hit an auto park sequence. By removing this cover here, this will also expose the backlight assembly. So here's the motor, the smaller sprocket, the larger sprocket that goes to the lower lamps, and then our belt here. There's also the select relay in here. That's what tells it which way. So as it hits one of these 2 switches, it reverses polarity via that and just sends the rotation the other direction. The very top one is the junction point for all the lamp wires. All of the blocks are color coded, so it's fairly simple. If you have to remove a lamp or unhook it to pull the tree off, you'll be able to know which block these go back into. But there is a wire schematic in here for the whole tower. We can send this to you electronically, which that way you can blow up, isolate if you're hunting down a specific function. That's basically the components of a command light. If there's something in here that I didn't go over or you would like to go over further, give me a call. I'll be happy to walk you through it. Thank you.